be decorating a wine bottle for Halloween. The first thing I did was give my wine bottle a coat of primer and 1 coat of white paint. Next, I'm going to come in with this napkin that I had left over from Halloween last year. I'm just going to unfold it and take off the backing. And now I'm cutting out one of the sections with the raven and skull on it. And I'm just using a paintbrush and a little bit of water. So I'm just tearing it and fitting it to size and laying it down on the bottle. Now I'm going to take my Mod Podge and I'm going to attach it to the bottle. I'm going in with the Mod Podge, giving it a good coat, and I am not really being all that careful with the napkin. I kind of want a crinkly look. I don't want it to be, like really bad, but I definitely want there to be some wrinkles in it. I could go in and be like a lot more careful and get a nice sleek, clean look, but that's not the look that I'm going for with this bottle. So I'm going to lay down my Mod Podge and then let the bottle dry overnight. So now I'm coming in with a color that I kind of custom made myself. It was antique white, and then I mixed in a little black with it to match with the color of the napkin. I didn't paint the bottle initially with this color. I wanted the white underneath that napkin so that the white would be reflecting behind the skull. That was kind of important. So now I'm just coming in and painting the bottle with that antique white darkened up mixture, and it's matching with the napkin really nicely. I'm not doing a dabbing and stippling motion, and I'm also not being really careful as I paint. I'm just painting and making sure that there are no drips. Now I'm coming in with the IOD Felicite, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, mold. It's the mold that has all of these flowers, and I am going to be using them all over this bottle. I want to make it look like sort of like a rose garden, like an old creepy vibe, and I'm kind of feeding off of the napkin vibe. I'm just trying to imagine what those vines would look like if they were growing up out of that napkin silhouette. And these molds are perfect. So I'm going in and I'm pressing on the mold, and I'm going to flex it and release it, and I'm going to be using, I think like 3 or 4 I ended up using at the end. I'm going to just kind of twist them around and see what looks good, and then I'm going to take my Tip-On glue and glue them down. As I was working with these molds and twisting them and manipulating them into the shapes that I wanted, I realized how thick they were. They were really kind of heavy, so I had to work sections at a time. So I put in this first section at the top, fitting it and getting it kind of the way I wanted it, and then I had to let it dry so that the molds didn't slip down while they were drying. Once the vine parts were all dry, I came in and I cast every single one of those flowers. I loved them all. And I knew that I wanted the big one in the back to fill up that big empty space. How I'm layering them up right now is I'm just kind of going with the feel of the napkin. I'm just building off of the flowers that are already there. I sealed the entire piece and let it sit overnight. And now I'm coming in with another mixture that I kind of custom made. I wanted to go with the dark that was in the napkin, and it really wasn't black and it really wasn't gray. So I mixed my black and my gray with my glazed medium, and I am going over all of the flowers. I'm making sure that I get into all of those crevices, and then I'm going to wipe back with a paper towel and a baby wipe to get the look that I'm going for. So I grabbed a bunch of my craft paints that matched with the leaves and the vines that are in that napkin, and I just sort of went to town on it. I am painting all of the leaves and the vines, just varying shades of greens and blue greens, and I mixed a little bit of gray in there, and I'm just going with the vibe that matches with the napkin. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to come in with my reds, and I'm going to be mixing the red with a little bit of black and a little bit of gray, just to give it kind of a varying shades and to again match with that napkin. So I let the flowers and vines dry overnight, and I came in the morning and I just wasn't happy with how it was looking. There was just something off, and I knew that it was that grungy effect that I was going with. Something about the flowers they were just too pretty for that type of a grunge. So what I did was I mixed up my paint, and I just got rid of all of the parts that I want to say grungy, but it really looked kind of dirty. So I took down all of those parts, and I'm going to come in with a different effect, a different kind of grungy effect. What I'm going to do is now I'm going to come in with, I don't even know what you would call this technique, but let me know if there's a name for it. What I'm doing is I'm loading up my little paintbrush with that black paint mixture, and I'm dipping it into the crevice of the molds, and then I'm just feathering it down. I am trying to let the molds kind of dictate where the shadowing effect is going to go, and I'm starting off slow, and I'm just really making sure to feather it all out. I'm trying to be heavy-handed in certain spots and then light-handed in others, but I definitely want the feathering to go up and down as far as it can go to give that kind of creepy vibe to the bottle. And since I have sealer already on the bottle, I don't have to worry about if I make a mistake. I still have some flexibility to wipe back. I let the paint dry and then gave it a coat of sealer. Now I'm coming in, and I was going to originally put one of those skulls from the Dollar Tree on top of it, but it didn't look good. Then I grabbed out a couple of other wine bottle toppers that I had, and I was really working with them. Nothing really worked. Everything kind of felt like it was fighting for attention. So at the end of the day, I just came in with a regular old wine cork, and I just dirtied it up a little so it didn't look so pretty and perfect. So here's my completed wine bottle. I think it looks beautiful. Just an old wine bottle, a napkin, and some molds. And let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching.